Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Thomas Patilli. Recently, I made a video where I inked over some beautiful pencils by Buscema. It was a fun exercise and a creative way to practice inking while studying a really great artist's work. I found those amazing penciled pieces in a feature of his work in this magazine called Rough Stuff. I mentioned this magazine in the last video. It's an old magazine. I don't think they make it anymore, but this is from the winter of 2007. This was issue 3. And in this video, I thought I would show you more from that particular article on Buscema's work, where it includes some of his other penciled work, as well as some of his comic book process stuff. I originally filmed this whole look through of that article for the original inking video that I made recently, but for the sake of time, I didn't include it. But since I know that some of you might not be familiar with this magazine, and I know some of these images in here might not be available online, I thought I would take that footage and make a separate video just focusing on that. This article and feature of his work is only a few pages, so the video is not going to be that long. But hopefully seeing some of this stuff will inspire you as much as it inspires me. Like I said, as far as I know, this magazine is discontinued, but I have a bunch of issues from when I was collecting it. And if you would like to see some more videos of me going through other issues, other featured artists and their process, I'd love to make that video. Like I said, I think a lot of the stuff in these magazines isn't really available online. So there might be some stuff in these magazines that you've never seen before. So again, let me know in the comments if you'd like to see those future videos. As always, if you like this video, give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel if you want to see more videos like this in the future. Now let's get into that article. So like I mentioned, this is the magazine that the Buscema penciled drawings came out of. It's a really great magazine from back in the day. I have a pretty good collection of these, several issues. It features a lot of really great artists in this particular issue, but I'll show you some of the Buscema section here. There's just some really great preliminary stuff, pencil stuff, sketch stuff. He just seemed like the kind of artist that was always trying to perfect his drawing and just very, very prolific. He's known in a lot of ways for drawing in the margins and drawing on the back of pages. Just all of these like figurative stuff, whether it's Conan or just a random Viking. He's able to draw big superheroes doing heroic stuff, but he's also able to draw just people standing around and making that look good as well. He draws some beautiful women too, great faces, hair. Somebody who's really great to learn how to draw hair. Just really great figure work over there. Here's some of his process stuff as it pertains to drawing comic pages themselves. It says here that he would often do his breakdowns on tracing paper and then lightbox that onto the final board, which is exactly how I like to work as well. So that's kind of cool. You can see how rough and just preliminary his layouts were, and then how they got a little bit more refined as he would go. I feel like if he were inking himself, he probably wouldn't pencil any more than this. He's a very confident artist, and I don't think he really needed all that much information underneath in order to bring something to life with ink. Here's some more penciled stuff. Of course, here's where I got those Thor drawings from. It says here that he drew these in 1966. He had taken a little bit of a break from Marvel to do some illustration work. So this is when he came back to Marvel. And I guess maybe he was refamiliarizing himself with superhero work once again. I love stuff like this, comparing the rough to the final inks. I'm pretty sure it says here that he inked this himself. So it's kind of crazy to see how rough it started out, and then compared to all the beautiful detail of the ink work. It's great how he's able to push the background to the back and really highlight what's going on in the foreground here just by using those thin, scratchy lines for the building and the clouds back there. Even drawing Spider-Man, he's somehow able to get like a real Frazetta fantasy kind of illustration out of it. This looks like a page that was kind of in progress. It's cool to see. Some of it's finished, some of it's not. The editor, Bob McLeod, here points out in the writing on the side that there's an indication that he's just sort of moving around the page as he inks, seemingly inking the stuff that he finds most interesting first, and then perhaps coming back to other types of detail afterwards. I think that's a really great way to keep yourself engaged and keep yourself making the best work on a page. Kind of maybe eating the dessert before you eat your vegetables or something like that. You know, inking the faces, inking the fun stuff, whatever that is for you. And then after that, going back in and perhaps doing details and other kinds of background work. I think it just keeps you engaged and it keeps you producing your very best work. From what I heard, he was able to draw like 3 pages a day. So I think he was really, really fast, which is incredible because just on a page like this, you have 2 different characters and then you have horses being shown from different angles. There's swords, there's helmets, there's all that kind of stuff, as well as background. So if he was able to do multiple pages like this a day, that's really incredible. And then this is like a breakdown, you know, a really rough version of a page. I would imagine he was able to lay out an entire issue like this in a day. Like I said earlier, I doubt he would have penciled all that much more on top of this. I feel like he might have just gone in with ink and just finalized it that way. But you could see all the storytelling, all the important bits are all here on the piece. Everything else then just becomes refining and making it look good. But the fundamentals and the foundation of the page are all there. Another comparison of a rough versus a more finished penciled piece. This is one of the things that I love about this magazine is that not only with John Buscema, but all the artists that they feature in this magazine would always have these comparisons next to each other. I think this is just a really great way to learn an artist's process and then compare it to your own process. For me, I know it's really inspiring to see how another artist brings something to life and how their final art compares to their thinking, all the preliminary stuff that went in before that. All right, well, that's it for this video. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed that little look through of John Buscema's work. If you didn't see my recent inking video where I took a couple of the pages from that article and inked on top of them, I'll link it somewhere around here or down below. Check that one out, you might enjoy it. We go into more depth about John Buscema's work and also just inking in general. As always, thanks so much for watching and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.